Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain a South Korean horror film from 2021, titled The Eighth Night. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. About 2,500 years ago, a terrible creature came from hell into the human world and caused great suffering. The Buddha confronted the creature and removed its two eyes, called the red eye and the black eye. He sealed each eye inside a sacred sarira casket, and before giving up, the red eye escaped for 7 days by hiding inside human bodies. On the 8th day, it realized it could not escape the Buddha and finally surrendered. The two eyes were then buried far apart, one in the cliffs of the far east and the other in the desert of the far west, and the Buddha warned his disciples that the two caskets must never be brought together. In present day, Professor Kim Juncheol travels to the desert near the India-Pakistan border to prove that the sarira caskets are real. While exploring, he finds a strange altar, and the ground beneath him collapses, revealing a relic believed to be one of the caskets. However, days after he announces his discovery, the scientific community declares it fake. The news spreads quickly, and Professor Kim is publicly shamed and rejected. 14 years later, now angry and broken, Professor Kim becomes determined to prove the truth by reuniting the black eye and the red eye. Under a red moon, he opens the casket and pours 6 vials of blood into it, then adds his own blood, believing a ritual will work. When nothing happens, he is crushed by despair, and as he is about to end his life, something strange occurs. The red eye emerges from the casket and appears to possess him. In Gwangju, Banti Hyung, the protector of the black eye casket, senses that the red eye has awakened. He tells a young monk named Chong-sik, who has taken a vow of silence, the story of the two-eyed monster and the great destruction that would happen if the eyes were reunited. Later, Banti Hyung tells Chong-sik that the red eye is active and will try to reunite with the black eye. To stop this, they must kill the 7th step, the virgin shaman, and he orders Chong-sik to find Banti Sianhwa and warn him of the danger. The next morning, Chong-sik wakes up and finds Banti Hyung dead. He is sitting upright, as if he died while meditating, and the sarira casket is beside him. At the same time, in Chilgok, a hunter is out hunting at night when he hears strange sounds and briefly sees something moving nearby. Suddenly, a hand touches him from behind, and it is later revealed that the red eye has possessed the hunter and taken control of his body. The possessed hunter later goes to a motel where a couple is checking in. Inside their room, the woman tells her boyfriend about a meditation group she attended, where she received a free health checkup and a blood test. Suddenly, the possessed hunter enters the room and appears to attack the couple. The next day, detectives Kim Ho-tae and Dong Jin investigate the motel. They find the hunter's body, which is extremely dried out and decomposed, even though only a few hours have passed. Only the man's body is found, the woman is missing, and when they check the motel's security cameras, they see footage of the woman leaving the motel alive. Later, the woman is found dead at another location, and her body is in the same strange condition as the hunter's. Because of the unusual state of the bodies, Dong Jin suggests asking for help from a virgin shaman he knows. However, Kim is skeptical and refuses the idea. Back in Gwangju, Chong-sik asks another monk where he can find Banti Sianhwa. After getting the information, he puts the sarira casket and some coins into his bag and leaves Gwangju to search for him. At Taejun Station, while Chong-sik is briefly distracted, his bag, containing the casket and his money, is stolen. He notices a young girl nearby and believes she took it before she disappears into the crowd. Using the address he was given, Chong-sik eventually finds Sianhwa's home, but Sianhwa is not there. That night, Sianhwa, who now works as a construction laborer, returns home and finds Chong-sik waiting for him. Because Chong-sik has taken a vow of silence, he explains everything that happened in Gwangju through written messages. Through flashbacks, Hyung's spirit reveals that Sianhwa left the monastery because he did not want to become Hyung's successor. He also failed to help lost souls move on, which caused many restless spirits to cling to him. Meanwhile, the red eye leaves the woman from the motel, and her body is left dried out and badly decomposed, and the red eye moves on to possess another person. A delivery man riding a motorbike passes the possessed woman inside a tunnel and stops when he recognizes her as someone from the same meditation group. The red eye then takes control of the delivery man, and later, he is seen standing in front of a temple. The next day, Detective Kim is called to another crime scene. The body of the second possessed woman is found. Like the other victims, her body is dried, shrunken, and badly decomposed, with a large hole in her skull. At the same time, Sienhua prepares to leave in search of the seventh pillar. He buys an axe to prepare for what lies ahead, and Chongsik follows him. Sienhua believes the seventh pillar is the virgin shaman known to the monks in Gwangju. For days, Sienhua treats Chongsik with kindness and even buys him a new pair of shoes, and touched by this, Chongsik thanks Sienhua out loud, accidentally breaking his vow of silence. It is later revealed that the young girl who stole Chongsik's bag at the station lives in the house of the virgin shaman. Because the bag contains the Sarira casket, it attracts people possessed by the red eye to the house. The girl keeps them away by placing a bowl of blood at the entrance, which the possessed people smell before leaving. Meanwhile, Sienhua continues searching for the virgin shaman's house. He shows the address to several people, but no one recognizes it. Eventually, he meets a man who gives him directions, and Sienhua and Chongsik take a bus to the area. At the Taegu bus terminal, Hyung's spirit appears to Sienhua again. It is then revealed that Chongsik's mother accidentally ran over Sienhua, his wife, and their daughter, which lead to their death. Because of this loss, he went to live as a monk in Gwangju, and before Chongsik's mother died, she wrote a letter asking Sienhua to adopt Chongsik. Sienhua agreed and adopted him but left the boy in Gwangju, and later, Sienhua left the monastery, abandoned his duties, and never became a fully ordained monk. When they arrive at their destination, Sienhua tells Chongsik to search the area for shaman services, hoping this will lead them to the virgin shaman, and they split up. After hearing about a strange recent murder, Sienhua goes to the tunnel where the woman was found. Detective Kim is also there and watches Sienhua from his car. Kim stops him, asks for his ID, and calls Dongjin to check his background. When Kim asks Sienhua to open his bag and finds an axe inside, Sienhua tries to run away. They struggle and fall down a slippery area, and Sienhua drops his map, which shows the area he is searching. Meanwhile, Chongsik finds the virgin shaman's house, and a young woman dressed in white lets him inside while it is raining. He recognizes her as the girl who may have stolen his bag, but feels strangely drawn to her. Chongsik soon leaves, but outside he notices a female student staring at him. The student suddenly reveals the red eye on her face, showing that she is the sixth pillar, and terrified, Chongsik runs away. That night, Chongsik meets Sienhua again and tells him what he saw. Sienhua tells Chongsik to go home and reveals that he plans to kill the young woman from the shaman's house, believing she is both the seventh pillar and the virgin shaman. They separate, but Chongsik does not go home. Instead, he runs back to the shaman's house and takes the young woman with him. Meanwhile, Dongjin tells Detective Kim about Sienhua's past and explains that all the victims were connected through Professor Kim Juncheol's meditation group for people considering suicide. Dongjin also reveals that he has met the virgin shaman, who is still alive and part of the meditation group. She is the same virgin shaman whose house Chongsik visited. Dongjin gives Kim a talisman made by the virgin shaman using his own blood, thanking Kim for saving him from suicide. Kim returns to the place where he fought Sienhua earlier and tells Dongjin to leave. Using the map Sienhua dropped, Kim begins searching for him alone. Sienhua reaches the virgin shaman's house, not knowing that Kim has followed him. He briefly loses sight of Sienhua, who enters the house and confronts the shaman, whose face is completely covered with talismans. As Sienhua prepares to kill her, Kim arrives and stops him, and they fight again. This time, Kim overpowers Sienhua, but before he can handcuff him, the red-eye student appears and violently throws Kim aside, but the talisman Kim received protects him from further harm. Realizing that Chongsik and the young woman have already escaped, the red-eye student retreats. Xianhua then carves a talisman onto his axe using his own blood and chases after the student. The student knows she is being followed and runs in front of Dongjin's car, tricking him and allowing the red eye to possess him. Once the red eye leaves the student's body and enters Dongjin's, the student collapses and dies, her body darkened and dried out. Xianhua attacks Dongjin, now possessed by the red eye, but is quickly defeated and thrown aside. Dongjin points a gun at Xianhua but does not kill him. Instead, he tells Xianhua to return to Guangzhou, where he is destined to die, and as more police arrive, Xianhua escapes. Meanwhile, Chongsik takes the young woman in the white dress to the train station. They get on a bus heading for Guangzhou, and during the trip, Chongsik sees the ghost of Master Haiyong. At the same time, Xianhua also arrives at the station, planning to take a bus. However, a staff member tells him that bus services have ended for the day and that he must wait until morning. That night, while sitting in the terminal, Xianhua has a vision in which Master Haiyong appears to him. Haiyong tells him that the Black Eye has already reached the final step and that Xianhua cannot avoid his responsibility. He explains that this duty was passed to Xianhua at the moment of his death, and that before Xianhua wakes from the vision, his own fate will be passed on to a new successor. The next day, Xianhua boards a bus to Guangzhou, and at the same time, the red-eye Dongjin drives toward Guangzhou as well. Meanwhile, Chongsik and the young woman arrive in Guangzhou and head into the nearby shack, and shortly after, Xianhua also arrives. Around the same time, the red-eye possessed Dongjin goes to the temple, kills one of the monks, and mocks the dead body of Master Haiyong. After learning what has happened to Dongjin, Detective Kim returns to the Virgin Shaman's house, and there, it is revealed that the woman Xianhua almost killed is the real Virgin Shaman. The young woman in the white dress is not alive, she is actually a ghost who had been haunting Professor Kim. The real Virgin Shaman explains that the ghost's name is Airan, she was an abused child whom Professor Kim once saved. Later, he manipulated her and planned to use her as the sacrifice needed to reunite the monster's two eyes. Professor Kim also tricked people in his meditation group into giving blood by offering free blood tests. He planned to use their blood to summon the red eye and turn them into the 7 stepping stones. After Airan attached herself to the Virgin Shaman, she used the shaman to manipulate Dongjin into giving his own blood, so that he could later be possessed instead of the shaman. It was also the Virgin Shaman, while controlled by Airan, who took the Sarira casket from Chongsik. After learning the truth, Detective Kim leaves for Guangzhou to find Dongjin. Meanwhile, Xianhua finds Chongsik in an abandoned shack, and Chongsik realizes that he has been alone the entire time and that the casket is still with him. Xianhua explains their plan: they will trap Dongjin, allow the red eye to fully possess him, and then Chongsik will kill him. With everything in place, Chongsik goes into hiding, and soon after, the red-eye Dongjin arrives, and the plan works as he becomes trapped. However, Dongjin reveals that neither Airan nor the Virgin Shaman was the 7th pillar. Airan's real purpose was to influence the 7th pillar, who is actually Chongsik. Because Xianhua left the monastery and never became Haiyong's successor, the role was passed to Chongsik instead. This means only Chongsik can open the casket that holds the black eye. Dongjin then orders Airan's ghost to find Chongsik, who is hiding nearby, and she removes Chongsik's robe, which has a protective talisman made by Xianhua. Believing everything is lost, Dongjin tells Xianhua to kill himself for failing in life. Instead, Xianhua shoots Dongjin, but it does not stop him. Angered, Dongjin summons demons to attack Xianhua and then turns toward Chongsik. Chongsik grabs the casket and runs. He soon meets Detective Kim, who tries to stop Dongjin but is thrown aside again, but the talisman Dongjin once gave Kim protects him. Kim attempts to stop Dongjin but is once again violently thrown aside, saved only by the talisman Dongjin had given him, which he still carries. After fighting off the demons, Xianhua chases Dongjin and shoots him in the left leg. Even injured, Dongjin continues crawling after Chongsik, and when Sianhua tries to kill him from behind, Detective Kim shoots Sianhua to stop him. When Kim approaches Dongjin's body quickly dries out and decays, showing that the red eye has already left him. The red eye then possesses Chong-sik and throws Detective Kim onto a sharp branch, killing him. The possessed Chong-sik opens the casket, and the black eye begins to appear. The red eye then grabs the dying Sianhua and turns into a child version of Chong-sik. It tries to torment Sianhua, telling him to strangle the child and blaming Chong-sik's mother for his family's deaths, but Sianhua refuses and gently touches the child's face instead. The red eye then returns to Chong-sik's adult form and tries to kill Sianhua with an axe, but at that moment, Sianhua holds Chong-sik's arm while chanting a spell. It is revealed that Sianhua secretly draws a talisman on his own face using his blood. This forces the red eye to leave Chong-sik and possess Sianhua instead, and accepting his fate, Sianhua asks Chong-sik to kill him. Chong-sik hesitates but finally does it, killing Sianhua and preventing the red eye and black eye from reuniting. Days later, Chong-sik travels to the India-Pakistan border and returns the casket to the place where it was first found. Airan appears to him, and Chong-sik offers his hand, and as Airan takes it, the chains around her ankles fall away, and her spirit is finally set free. Okay guys, that's all the recap about the 8th Night from 2021. Thanks for watching, see you again in the next video.